Hi, I'm Mary Beth Temple. As we work our way through the bag pattern, we're going to have a video on each stitch pattern. So the first one we're going to do is this one. Now, the reason this stitch is cool is because it has surface technique. Once again, you can get a two-color pattern. You only have to use one color at a time. It's a little non-traditional in how the rows are laid out, but I'm going to show you step by step how to do it, and this will be the first part of our bag. Let's get started. All right, we are going to work on a two-color stitch pattern that has a variation on surface crochet. Now, oftentimes, if you hear surface crochet, it's somebody sort of making a chain stitch throughout. But this one has chain stitches that are placed during the actual stitching and then gathered up later. And it gives you a surface crochet pattern, but it is worked while you are working the stitch pattern, not after. So, I have done 2 rows of single crochet as directed in the pattern. I'm sure you have downloaded the pattern by now. And at the end of row 2, you will see that it says extend your working loop so it doesn't unravel. Do not turn work, because in this instance, the next row is going to start and the same side of the work as the beginning of row 2. I also want to give you just a quick tip. If you're going to sit down and crochet this block, it doesn't take that long because the block's not that big. That's great. If you're concerned that you might have to walk the dog, answer the phone, pick up a kid, whatever, you might want to get a locking stitch marker and put it in that loop. So if you have to put the work down and come back later, if it's got a locking stitch marker in there, it won't come unraveled. But for the purposes of the way the pattern is written and this video, I'm just going to extend the working loop so that it has a very small chance of unraveling before I need it to. So, row 1 went that way, row 2 went that way, row 3 goes that way. So, with the new color, I'm going to do a standing start, by which I mean I'm just putting a slip stitch on the hook and pretending that's a working yarn from a stitch before. I'm going to make 2 single crochets, chain 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, skip 4 single crochets, 1, 2, 3, 4, single crochet in each of next 3 single crochets. So 1, 2, 3, going to do that again. Chain 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, skip 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, single crochet in each of next 3. 1, 2, 3, and one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, skip 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and the last repeat ends with only 2 single crochets at the end, not 3. Normally we're going to do 2 rows of one color and then 2 rows of the next color, etc. But because we're setting up the pattern, there's only 1 row of the cream this time. So I'm going to pull that loop out and leave it for later and put the purple loop back on my hook. Oops, I missed. Thankfully it didn't pull all the way out. There we go. So we're at the end of row 3. And so for row 4, we're back to the dark color, chain 1, single crochet in each of first 2 single crochet, that's easy. 1, 2, and now half double crochet in each of next 4 single crochet. So that's those guys down here, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're going to do 4 half doubles, and what we want is the row to sort of be even at the top. It's important that you push the chain away from you. You don't want it on the side of the work facing you, you want it away from you, and that side away from you is now the right side of the work. So that's 4 half doubles and then 3 singles. 1, 2, 3, and we're going to do that all the way across. And remember that last repeat is only going to have 2 single crochets at the end, not 3, and that is of course noted on your pattern. Make sure you don't catch that chain 7 loop like I almost did. One, 2, 3. 2, 3, 4. And then we're going to end with just 2 single crochets, not 3. So that is the end of row 4. And it says chain 1, turn. Now, this is not so exciting. We're just going to single crochet in every single crochet across. So I'm going to do that, and I will meet you at the end of the row. All right, so we're at the end of row 5. Remember, because I'm not technically changing colors at the end of the row, I'm going to finish the last stitch in the end of the row with the color that I'm working on, which is a little different than the way we handle color changes in the other videos. So I've left my purple working loop, I've put my cream colored working loop back on, and we're starting row 6. Or we would be if I could start splitting my yarn. So chain 2. Now we're going to slip stitch in the first stitch, and we're going to chain 3. In this instance, on these rows, that chain 3 does count as a double crochet. On these turning chains, we're going to ignore those. Those are never going to be stitches. The focus of those turning chains on this side of the fabric is just to get the color that we need to the place where we need it. So we're going to then double crochet in the next single. And now we're going to chain 3, single crochet in chain 7 loop, which is away from us still. So it's way down there. Now I don't want you to go into a specific chain. I want to make sure that the stitch has a little play so that when you block this, it comes out nicely. So you're just going to single crochet in that loop, in that chain 7 space. Chain 3, skip 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and double crochet in each of next 3 single crochet. 2, 3, and we're going to do that all the way across the row, ending with 2 doubles instead of 3. So right now, 1, 2, 3, find that loop, put the single crochet in the chain 7 space, 3 more chains, skip 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 3 doubles. 1, 2, 3, and one last time. 1, 2, 3, single crochet in the chain 7 space. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, we're skipping, and 2 doubles because the last repeat of the row ends with 2, not 3. And now I'm going to work back in the cream color. So I'm going to chain 1, turn, and you can see this is the right side of the work. So we've completed the X pattern, but now we have to start the next X. So this row that we're about to do, which is row 7, is almost exactly the same as row 3. The difference in the way it's written is I'm telling you to single crochet in each of the first 2 doubles, where down here it was single crochet in each of the first 2 singles. But it's the same premise as row 3 and is almost identical. So single crochet in each of the first 2 doubles, chain 7, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, skip all this mess in here, single crochet in each of the next 3 doubles. This row goes very quickly because there's hardly any stitching. And I may have mentioned this before, or maybe I didn't. I do hold my yarn in an odd sort of way, so you don't have to hold your yarn the way I do. I learned from my left-handed mother, And heaven forbid I ever learned how to do it right. So I tension my yarn differently than the rest of you. Don't change your yarn tensioning to suit me. All right, one last time. Chain 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Skip all the chains, and we've only got 2 double crochets at the end, not 3. 1, 2 singles. Now, I can tell that it's time to change color because the yarn is waiting for me. So I'm going to extend my working loop. Now here you can see that the beige is way, way higher than the purple. But when we head back, we're going to fill in all this area behind the beige. So let me grab the purple loop. So that was the end of row 7. So we're at row 8. We're going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Remember, that particular chain does not count as a stitch. The only one that's going to count as a stitch is that chain 3 at the start of the row after the slip stitch. So we chained 4, single crochet in each of the first 2 single crochet. 1, 2. Now, treble in each of the next 4 single crochet, and I marked on the pattern that those are going to be color A single crochet. So my trebles go way down here. And just, again, push all that cream colored surface work, push it away from you so it always stays on the right side of the work. So I'm putting my trebles way down here. 3, 4. And now it's single crochet in each of next 3 single crochet, and I've noted that those are color B, and they're way up here. So what's happening, and you can see this, is the trebles are filling in behind the X, just like I said they would. So at the end of this row, it's straight across, not all up and down like it was when I had all that cream-colored lacy stuff hanging out. So we're going to do that all the way across the row. And as usual, the last repeat in the row is going to end with 2 stitches, not 3. Almost to the end. 4 more trebles. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 2 singles at the end. 1, 2. I'm just going to end this little snippet off because I was using some yarn left over. So here is the wrong side of the work, and here is the right side of the work. So you can see one X is completed, and we're working on building up the next X. So moving on from here, rows 9 to 14 are repeat rows 5 through 8, so 5, 6, 7, 8, then rows 5 and 6 once more. At the end of row 14, which is that last iteration of row 6, do not chain 1 turn, end off color B. So in that instance, as it was at the very beginning, we're going to work in the same direction as last row. So if the row went this way, we're going to end off B, start again at the beginning of the row, place A on the hook, and we're going to do row 15, and then chain 1 turn and do row 16. And the reason we're doing that again is to make sure that we get all the X's closed up. If you look at the panel on the messenger bag, you see that we have 3 complete X's. If you look really closely, you see that you have half of a repeat down here and half of a repeat down there, because a full repeat would give you single sitting on top of a double. So you have a half a repeat of the pattern, a full one, and basically the other half. But follow that pattern blindly and it will not lead you astray. And make sure that you check out the other stitch videos that we have so that you can do fabulous crochet color work while only using one color of yarn at a time. Once again, this is Mary Beth Temple. Thank you for joining me on learning this very cool stitch. Make sure you check out all the other stitch videos before you get ready to assemble your bag.